Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yasharala, giving of course all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, BAHASHAM, Yahushua. Right? That's all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, who is the Father, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahushua, who the world refers to as Jesus Christ. And he is the Savior of the nation of Israel. Right? Shalom, shalom to anyone that's tuning into this. Right? We'll be going into some milk, right? Talking about the Sabbath day, right? Which means what? Day of rest, right? So we're going into the Sabbath day, what it is, some do's and some don'ts, basically how to keep it, and yeah, we're going to go through the spirit. So first off, I'd like to start off with Exodus chapter 20, right? Because the Sabbath day, right? The Sabbath day is actually the fourth commandment, right? That you can find in the 10 commandments listed in Exodus chapter 20. So the fourth commandment is the Sabbath day, right? And we're about to read about that, all right? So this is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8, right? It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, right? So today we observe the Sabbath day on Saturday, right? Now we know that the day, contrary to popular belief, that the day actually starts and ends at sundown. So the Sabbath day would be from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, right? Some brothers, they keep a different Sabbath day, and that's fine, because at the end of the day, we can't judge them based off what day they keep, as long as they, go through the doctrine and, try to prove it, right? And they believe that that's the Sabbath, right? But through the Spirit, we believe that Friday sundown to Saturday sundown is the Sabbath, right? Uh, Exodus chapter 20, verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So we have to remember it. We have to acknowledge it. And we have to celebrate the Sabbath to keep it holy. Holy goes into the word consecrated, meaning what? Separate. So we have to or we have to sanctify this day. So the things that you do or the things that you want to do right on the Sabbath, you can't really do, right? Like, let's say you play basketball 6 days a week, right? Play basketball 6 days in a week. Hey, you can't play basketball on the Sabbath, right? Let's say you like to play football all the day, 6 days in a week. You can't play football, right, on the Sabbath, right? So we have to, abstain from basically the pleasures and what we like to do throughout the week, right? I'm going to get into that. We're going to get into that. It says 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. So you have 6 days to labor and to work, to buy, to cook, to sell, right? You have 6 days out of the week to do that, right? You have Sunday. Sunday is the first day of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then you got Friday. Then you got Saturday. So Saturday, that's that one day you can't do any work, right? The only work you can do is the work that pertains unto the Most High's work, right? Like studying, praying, going out and actually onto the highways and hedges, right? That work is considered well, right? Let me get that in Matthew. It's lucky, I'm, just talking, but hey, this is Matthew chapter 12, real quick, and verse Matthew chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, how much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days, right? So it's lawful to do well, you know. So doing well is what, studying, right? Praying and well, not necessarily fasting, because fasting, Sabbath is a feast day, but going out to the highways and hedges and laboring, right? Hey, it's lawful to do that, right, on the Sabbath. But kind, you had precept or a point.
Um, um,
Uh,
it's Genesis 2, and I'm gonna start at 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all of hosts of them. So this day is not like just a day that the Most High picked out. This is actually the last day that He made the earth.
right.
And on the seventh day, God ended, Yahweh ended His work,
Hmm.
which He had made, and He rested on the seventh day from all His work which He had made. So there's actually a purpose to this day, right? That He rested
Hmm.
on this day from all the works that He made, right? And
Right.
Yahweh blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it had rested from all his work which Yahweh created and made. Right? So it's just simply a rest day, right? And he sanctified that day, right?
Right.
Let me get this Exodus.
And that rest, when it says rest, right? And the Most High and His angels, they don't have to rest. They don't have to rest. It's just talking about. Are you going to get that in Hebrews or
Hebrews.
yeah, Hebrews chapter 4? Right. It's just talking about Salaki. Yeah, but it's just talking about just expounding on this. Just talking about that they just cease from their doings, right? And the work it was completed, right? That's what that means. That word rested, because the Most High He never gets tired, right? Hey, didn't the Lord say? This is John chapter 10, I believe, right? Or John chapter 12. Might have been John. Let me see. Right. If you have a precept, you can go ahead.
Yeah, it's Leviticus 16:31. It shall be a Sabbath of rest unto you, right? It's going to be unto us, because the Most High knows that we're going to be working Sunday through Friday, right?
Right.
It shall be a Sabbath of rest unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls by a statute forever, right? So it's going to be on a day unto rest, right? The Most High doesn't have to rest. We are the ones who have to rest, right? You get it.
Right. Oh, comes John chapter 5, real quick, right? Because the Father, He's always working, right? So this is John chapter 5 and verse 17. It says, But Yahushua answered them, My Father worketh hitherto. Meaning what? My Father has been working until this time, and I work, right? So, at the Most High, we have to be like the Most High, always working, right? Always abounding in the Word, always abounding in the work, in the ministry, right? But, Khan, right?
This is
Uh,
Hebrews 4:4. For he
uh-huh.
spake in a certain place of the seventh day on the wise.
Right.
And Yahweh did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in
Mm-hmm.
this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein,
That's
and
right.
they whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief.
That's right.
Again, he limiteth a certain day, saying David today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For if
Right.
Yahushua given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day.
That's right.
Therefore remaineth there a rest of to the people of Yahweh. Right? For
Khan.
he
So,
that is let me keep
oh,
reading.
Khan. Yeah, it's like,
Keep reading? Alright.
yeah.
For he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, and Yahweh did from his.
Right. Yeah. So, Khan. So, verse 10, right? We want to highlight verse 10 because it's talking about, for he that is entered into his rest, he also have ceased from his own works as God did from his. Meaning that what? Because really, it's when you go into the word and God, right, in Genesis 1 and 1, it's not talking about the physical Yahweh, right? Even though he created all things, he is talking about the ALAHYAM, which means angels in the Hebrew, right? Or in the modern Hebrew, it will be the Elohim. So it's talking about the angels, right? Angels and Yahushua that created the heaven and earth and all of that uh, that we see, right? And that's invisible, right? So all they did on the seventh day, and we're going to get that too. All they did on the seventh day was that they just ceased from their works. They just stopped working. Everything was complete. All right. But this is Second Peter chapter 3. In that period of 7 days, though it says 7 days, Genesis is very parabolic and very rhetorical, or not, yeah, rhetorical, and also not not all things in Genesis is literal, right? We'll put it like that. So that period of 7 days was actually a period of 7 years, 7,000 years. So let me get that. Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. So 1,000 years to the Lord, or 1,000 years for us is one day with the Lord. So that's why the Lord said 7 days, right? That's where you get the concept of the Sabbath. Those weren't literal 7 days, right? So it's a period of 7,000 years. That's how we know that, right? Come on. So let's go back to Exodus chapter 20 real quick. And we're going to kind of read about the Sabbath, you know? And we're going to go into like the limitations of the Sabbath and what you can and what you cannot do, you know, to our understanding that the Lord has, you know, given us. So this is Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 says, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, or the seventh day, right, is the Sabbath, right? In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, right? For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Right? And right, I just thought of a precept real quick to prove that it wasn't just the Most High alone, right, that created everything. This is Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. It says, and God said, we know that word God in the Hebrew is HALALYAM. God said, let us, right? It said, let us. And who's the us if it's just the Most High? It says, let us make man in our image after our own likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Right? You have precept?
That's right. That's right. This Mark 2 and 27.
Uh,
And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, right? Because we know the Most High doesn't work, right? We know the Alahayams do not rest. Rest, Salaki. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, right? And not man for the Sabbath. So Most High made this before he even like thought of like putting the children of Israel like the covenants and stuff like that. He made that before he made most of the things.
right.
Read it again. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not the Sabbath for rest, for not the man for Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the Son of the Man is the Lord as also of the Sabbath, right?
Mm.
Because we know that the Most High didn't make it for he didn't make it before us, or vice versa. Salakia.
Yeah.
That's just to show that we're supposed to we're the only ones that's rested on that day, right? The Most High literally gave us a rest day,
Right.
right?
That's right. But Jake, don't get simple, because that doesn't mean that, oh, it's a day for me. All right. And then now he's just, you know, he's playing games all day. You know, he just, I don't know, what does Jake like to do? He's just rolling blunts all day. Playing basketball, he's playing basketball, he's just watching the NBA all day. You know, he's just playing on 2K all day, right? So, hey, Jake, no, nah, that's not what that's talking about, right? You know, yes, this is the day that was given for man, because just like the brother said, hey, the Alahayim, the angels, they don't sleep, they don't take a nap, they don't have to rest, right? They don't have the physical body like we have. They don't dwell in flesh and blood, right? So there's no reason for them to go to sleep. They're not made like us. They're literal balls of energy, right? So hey, I'm gonna get that. All right. This is Isaiah 58 and 13. It says, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day. What's the holy days? The holy day is talking about the Sabbath, right? And call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him. Uh, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. So the Lord is talking about, look, we can't really be doing our own things, what we want to do on the Sabbath, right? You're just doing what you want to do on the Sabbath. No, even though it was a Sabbath made for man, right? Because, you know, we work a lot, right? Hey, especially Israel, we're the hardest working people on the planet, right? Cons. Even if you look into statistics, hey, Northern Kingdom, they work a lot. They work even more than the Chinese Moab, right? So, of course, the Lord, he gave us a Sabbath day and sanctified it, right? But there's certain things and limitations. You can't just watch TV all day on the Sabbath, right? You can't just play games all day on the Sabbath. You only read the verse of the day. I went over the scriptures. Hey, I read a verse. You know, no, the Lord said, look, you have to, you can't basically, do your own pleasure on the Sabbath. You know, you have to also give that day to the Lord, right? Because the Lord, hey, let me go to Revelation real quick. Revelation chapter 1. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 9. I'm going to start at 9, right? It says, I, John. This is John, the son of Zebedee, brother of James, right? Apostle of YAHAWASHI. It says, I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation, and in the kingdom and patience of YAHAWASHI Mahashiach, was in the isle, which means island, that is called Patmos. So if you read about in history, John was exiled to the island of Patmos, right? For the word of the Most High and for the testimony of YAHAWASHI Mahashiach. Verse 10, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day. So he was in the spirit on the Lord's day. What's the Lord's day? That's talking about the Sabbath, right? It's the Lord's day. So that's also what we have to understand too. You know, even though it was made for man, for us to rest and for us to, get back into the spirit, it's also called the Lord's day because we have to make certain sacrifices in order to keep the Sabbath day properly, right? God. And I was in the spirit of the Lord's day and heard behind me a great voice of a trumpet. So that's talking about Yahushua, right? But yeah, come, let's get back to this. And we're going to go into some of the limitations on the Sabbath, right? So you cannot cook on the Sabbath, right? You cannot cook on the Sabbath. All right, you want to get that in Exodus 35:3? I'm gonna get this in Exodus 16.
You shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
That's right. Break that down, huh?
You're not supposed to kill no fire, meaning that's literal no fire, right? The stove that uses fire and electricity, right? The microwave, fire and electricity as well.
That's right.
Literally a barbecue, like any of those things that uses fire and electricity, right? So what we can do, we can make sandwiches, right? We can make cereal, right? You can make all these types of things, right? But we're not supposed to cook on that day, right? You got it.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, don't kindle any fire because, like what we used to do in Israel was before the Sabbath would come in, we would have the fireplace. We would have a fireplace. We have a fireplace, and we would, when the Sabbath would come in, we just throw wood on the fire in order for us to keep the fire to keep going. But we wouldn't kindle any fire on Sabbath, right? So, and that kindling fire is also going into what? Cooking, So, this is Exodus.
That what you was just talking about, right? I got the precept. So Luke 23:54. And that day was the preparation, right? This was before the Sabbath. And the Sabbath drew on, right? So back like what brother was talking about, we used to prep ourselves before the Sabbath.
Right.
We didn't have to be prepared on the Sabbath so we can actually eat and stuff like
Right.
that. Right? So you got it.
All right, Khan. I just paused it, but all right, it's back. All right, Khan. Yeah. So Khan, yeah, and yeah, like your brother was saying, we have a preparation day. Let me see what I can get out of this. I'll look up preparation day real quick, right? Because that was a thing in Israel, right? Preparation day. All right, let's look that up. Right, it says in the scripture, the day before the onset of Shabbat, right? So that's the Hebrew way of saying Sabbath, right? It says Shabbat is called preparation day, right? Mark 15:42, Luke 23 verse 54, John 19:31, right? So to be able to keep the Sabbath properly, adequate preparation is necessary, which means planning ahead. So, hey, brothers and sisters, when you start keeping the Sabbath, you gotta start planning ahead. That's just something that you gotta do. You get used to it. You get used to it. Come. But this is Exodus chapter 16, verse 23. It says, and he said unto them, This is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe, and that which remaineth over, lay up for you to be kept until the morning. All right? Meaning that what? Seethe, right? Seethe is what? Boil. So whatever you want to boil, you got to boil before the Sabbath comes in, right? Whatever you want to bake or you want to cook, you got to cook it before, right? So yes, it's okay. Let's say it's Friday night, or let's say it's Friday almost night. Before you want to cook something, you want to cook something before the Sabbath comes in. Whatever food you want to cook, that's good. That's good. You want to cook it, have it cooked, right? And then when the Sabbath comes in, you can still eat that, because it was cooked before the Sabbath, right?
That's right.
But don't eat anything that was cooked on the Sabbath while on the Sabbath, right? That's just going off, you know. Well, brother, I didn't cook it, right? Well, you're trying to cheat the Most High,
That's
you know.
right.
You're trying to cheat the Most High. Yeah, just because you didn't cook it doesn't mean that it's still not a sin, you know. And that's a really big controversial thing in Israel, because the Sabbath, it happens every week, and there's not once every week, right? There's not many, the Sabbath is not very very detailed, right? That's why the Lord said in Colossians, right? We have to take what we can get, and we have to pray to the Lord for understanding. This is Colossians, right? Colossians chapter see, Colossians chapter 3. Let's lock it. Colossians chapter 2 in verse 16, it says, Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of YAHAWASHI. God. So we can't judge brothers of how or when they keep high holy days. One of the high holy days is what? The Sabbath, right? But we can't really judge a brother saying, brother, you gonna get killed because you keep the lunar Sabbath. Brother, the Lord's going to kill you. We can't say that, right? Nor can a brother say that the Lord's going to put us in hellfire. He's going to just destroy us because we're keeping the Sabbath on so-called Saturday, right? No, you know, it's a shadow for things to come. The Lord will give us understanding in the kingdom, right? We're doing our best in this captivity, you know. And also, let me get that in Second Maccabees real quick. Slakia.
Okay.
Yeah, talking about the Sabbath real quick. Well, actually, I'll just hold it. You can bring out what you want to bring out.
All right, come.
Con,
This is Exodus 35 and 2.
con,
6 days shall thy work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be that shall be unto you a holy day of
con.
rest. Whatsoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
Mm,
Right? So we not supposed to do any work other than the Lord's work. Right? I
mm.
just had to get that real fast because we didn't bring that out.
Sorry.
You get it. You got it though.
Okay, Con. Yeah, this is Let me see here. This is second. Yeah, I'll just read this. This is Second Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, right? Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So there was a time during the uh, Maccabean revolts, as they call it, but during the time of the Jewish Maccabees, where it was unlawful for Jews, for us to what? Profess us as a Jew, or to keep high holy days, right? Now let me jump down to verse 11. It says, and others that have run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly. So there were some of our forefathers and foremothers that ran into caves just to keep the Sabbath. That's how holy this day is, right? Being discovered to Philip were all burnt together. They were burnt together. They would rather be burnt alive than to profane the Sabbath, right? Jake didn't. Hey, Jake, Sabbath come in. All right, guess it's the Sabbath. You know, You mean tell me I can't cook anything? All right. Jay, you gotta keep this day, you gotta keep this day like, hey, it's very important, right? Because I'm gonna keep going. Being discovered to Philip were all burnt together because they made a conscience uh to help, right? To help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day. The most sacred day. So the Bible just called the Sabbath the most sacred day, right? So that's how important this is, you know? Don't just treat it like it's, just a burden, right?
That's right.
Gone. You got it.
That's right.
Gone.
This is Acts chapter 13 and 44.
Mm-hmm.
And the next Sabbath day came almost the holy city, almost the holy city together to hear the word of the Most High. So this is like one of the also main days to hear the word of the Most High,
Right.
right? Is the Sabbath day, right? This is where we go hold church, right? The real church, right? Let me get this real fast, right? Because Christians may think that actual church is on Saturday,
That's
right?
right.
But no, this is the day of
Yeah.
church, right? Let me get this in Acts real fast. Acts 7:48, right?
Gone.
Because this Saturday is not the church day. I don't know where do Christians do not read the Bible. Like it's confirmed. Like where
Gone.
do they get that from?
Yeah. They think that Sunday is church day too.
Exactly.
It's just
First of all, this is Acts 7:48, right?
mm-hmm.
Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, and says the prophet, right? So they
Gone.
don't even. That's where not even the Most High is, right? On that Saturday church, on that Sunday church, Salaki. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just showing you that this is one of the main days to hold church as well, right? This is one of the main days to hear the word of the Most High,
That's
right?
right.
You got it.
That's right. That's right. Gone. And let me go to gone. Talk right. Gone. This is John chapter 18 and verse 20. I'm gonna start at 19, right? And it says, the high priest then asked Yahushua of his disciples and of his doctrine. Verse 20, Yahushua answered him, I spake openly to the world, right? And that's what we do when we go out onto the highways and hedges. We speak openly to the world. Anyone can come and receive the word, right? I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whether the Jews always resort and in secret I said nothing. See that? So Yahushua, right, he was always teaching in the synagogue. What's the synagogue? The synagogue is a place of gathering. That's where you get the word synagogue from. But basically it means a assembly or place of gathering where we, right, the Jews, we will go and we will worship together. We will learn the scriptures on the Sabbath, right? So these oh God, these these church people, these church goers, right? They will go to church on the wrong day, right? They'll go to church on the wrong day, worship the Lord, worship the Lord, right? And thinking that, all is good, right? No, all right? You're supposed to go to so-called church because we know that the church is just the body of Israelites, all right? So-called church on the Shabbat, all right? The actual Shabbat, all right? But come, got it. You got a
Con,
precept?
la,
Oh, okay, come. Then yeah. So we know that we can't work, right? We can't work. So no working on the Sabbath, right? Like the brother said, only doing the Lord's work. Now, if your job got you working on the Shabbat, either, you can try to find another job. Obviously, pray to the Lord, for a change in the schedule. Some brothers I know, or, other brothers, they say that they just basically, quit their job, right? We're not saying to actually just quit your job, right? Although that's good if you do, right? But, we know that situation is hard, especially in this time, right? With all this virus going on, right? We can't obviously pray for the Lord and pray for mercy and for grace, right? Can't. This is so we know that we can't work, right? Now let's cross that out, right? Now we can't buy either, right? Let's go to Nehemiah. It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10 and verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it, of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would not leave the 7th year in the exaction of every debt. So basically, hey, in ancient Israel, anyone try to come to Israel, right? Come to Jerusalem, so that they can sell us stuff. We said, hey, we're not going to buy it, right? Why? Because that's part of doing work. The Lord didn't want us to buy or sell anything on the Sabbath, right? Come.
Sorry. I think we got touched on a lot of things, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's that other precept? What's the other precept? Right. Oh, yeah. You want to get that in Amos? Amos chapter 8, verse 5.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn? Question mark. And the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small, and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. Right?
That's right. That's right. Because our wicked forefathers, they would say, when is the new moon going to be over? Right? When is the Sabbath going to be over? Right? That's also another thing. Our spirit has to be right when the Sabbath comes. You know, our spirit should want to serve the Lord. That's one of the reasons why we got into slavery in the first place, man. Because we didn't want to serve the Lord, right? With joyfulness and gladness, right? Because, and especially when I was first coming in the truth, right? The Sabbath was, kind of like a burden to me, But hey, Lord, thank the Most High that He changed the spirit, right? That was in me, right? Got that demon out of me, because that's really a spirit, All you have to do, hey, fast, pray, get into these scriptures more, right? Get to know wisdom, right? Come on, So yeah, don't be looking at the clock all damn day and man, only got you know got 7 hours to go. Like brothers, they do that, that, and that's bad, right? What I'm gonna do, and some brothers, right? They would just be like that, It's 9 o'clock, like they're at school or something.
That's off.
Kind.
There's more in there, though. I keep reading.
Yeah.
That we might buy the poor for silver and the needy for a pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sell the refuse of the water, of the wheat.
That's right.
The Lord has sworn by excellent of Jacob, surely I will never forget any of their works.
Right. Right. Because during this time of Amos, Israel was going off because they wanted to cut each other off, or basically rip each other off in what they were reselling, So when the Sabbath came, that really messed with their money. So they're like, oh man, when is the Sabbath going to be over? Right? So they can rip other people off. That's another thing, man. That's another thing. You can't just be like, that's also going into hating your brother, man. That's why the Lord said that I hate your feast days, because we weren't doing it in sincerity, you know. That's why we say to serve the Most High in truth and in sincerity, you know. If you got that precept, I forgot where it was, but
It's in Jeremiah.
yeah, Jeremiah. Okay,
Jeremiah.
and let me get that one in Jeremiah too. About bearing a burden on the Sabbath.
Hold on. Let me try to find this.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 21. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem." So you can't bear a burden on the Sabbath, right? You can't just be going outside your house and then now you're just driving down the street just to drive. Or you just, you're just going outside the refuge of your house, right? You're just driving 2, 3 hours away, just driving. Well, brother, where you going? I just want to drive. You know, or you just walking your dog outside. You know, you just going to the park, just walking your dog, and you just keep going, right? Just looking at trees. The Lord said you don't bear a burden on the Sabbath, right? That might seem bad. That might seem harsh to people. But look, if we can do it, right? It's just 24 hours. Literally, right? It's just 24 hours. Hey, actually half the time, hey, Jake's asleep for seven to 8 hours, right? So how many hours do you actually have left? Right? Like what? Um like what, 15 hours? Right? So literally it's not that hard, right? Literally not that hard. Oh, you mean to tell me I can't drive on the Sabbath just to drive? It's literally not that hard. If
at
you
all.
do that like 6 days a week. Why do you why can't you just abstain from that? Right? So
That's
Khan,
right.
Khan, you gotta you bring it up.
He said, yeah, let me get this and it's like right. And also like when well, I'm sure a lot of brothers can agree, but when you're first coming in, you first start keeping the Sabbath, right? You get more temptations,
That's
right?
right.
Because you already know that on the Sabbath you're not supposed to do most of those things, but you get your spirit has temptation,
Mhm.
right? Let me get this real fast. It's like right two, right? My son, if thou, so right 2 and 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation,
That's right.
right? Because we already know, like, we're not supposed to do certain things on the Sabbath, but the Most High just said, you got to prepare yourself for them temptations, right?
That's
But we
right.
already know we're not supposed to do it. And that's what creates that temptation,
That's right.
right? So still, we got to endure, though. That's the whole thing. The Most High wants us
Right.
to endure, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not even a hard thing to keep the Sabbath at all.
Cause really not.
It's not. I'd be waiting for the Sabbath, like, oh, yes, sir. It's going to be
Yeah.
Sabbath, right?
Khan.
Exactly. So, yeah, Con, you got it.
Khan, that's right. That's right. And what yeah, the Sabbath too, they take it from us. We've been what? Doing this thing for almost 2 years, right? And we tell you right now, a first-hand experience, it gets easier as it goes, man.
Sorry.
Right? Khan. And because before I used to say, right, the Sabbath really teaches you how to appreciate food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because back then, I was still being built up in the faith, but basically I was like, you know, damn, eating it's really not even 24 hours, right? But less than that, right? Less than like 24 hours without eating cooked food, and actually, really makes you appreciate food, you know, because we take food for granted, right? Especially when you're fasting. But when you fast and after you actually appreciate food, you know, because we take food for granted. Jake in the world, he eats day and night, 3 a.m., 3 p.m. He doesn't care, Who Jake, Jake, hey, we know Jake because we used to beat Jake, all right? We eat whenever, right? But come on, so Sabbath also makes you really appreciate food, right? But Khan, that's another point. And Khan also teaches you what? Endurance, right? Uh,
Right.
yeah, so yeah, no working, all right? No buying, all right? No cooking, no cleaning either, because that goes into work, right? No no selling, right? What else? Oh yeah, no doing your own pleasure, right? No bearing a burden, right? So those are 7 things right there. 7 limitations that you cannot do on the Sabbath, right? Um, yeah, and also doing your own pleasure goes into laying down with your woman. Because the Sabbath, you're supposed to be clean. The Sabbath, you're supposed to be holy, right? Didn't the Lord say that it's a holy convocation, right? A holy convocation means that what? You have to actually gather with your brethren and with your sisters,
That's
right?
right.
If you're able to. So meaning that what? When y'all gather together, I mean, if one person is unclean, then that makes the whole congregation unclean. So now everybody's unclean, and now it's unholy. See that? Con. That's right. What's that one about? I had a precept. Yeah, if you have a precept, you can bring it out. But
Nah, we already brought it up.
all right, con. So yeah, you know that's the Sabbath right there. All right. You see, this is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse. This is end time prophecy. All right, Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. Right? Meaning that what? Israel never go away. All right. I'm gonna get like Brother Joel on you. All right. Brother Joel, I'm gonna get like Brother Joel on you. Israel never go away. Right? So that's the new heavens and the new earth. Right? That's talking about the new rulership. Right? We will be back on top. Right? Verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and one Sabbath, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. So we will have new moons and Sabbaths, and we'll be turning up in the kingdom. Right? So if we're going to have Sabbath days and new moons in the Sabbath, in the kingdom, that means that we still have to keep it today. All right? Still need to keep it today. Can't just be like, well, that's the Old Testament, right? Because, hey, didn't YAHAWASHI keep the Sabbath?
That's right.
Right? Huh.
Christians
Yeah.
with that stuff. Yeah.
Right. Another point. This is First Samuel, right? Because this is also what the prophets used to do on the Sabbath. You know, it is neither Sabbath nor new moon, right? Let me get that. This is First Samuel. Yeah, I kind of forgot where this was though. Oh, it was Second Samuel, I think. Because it was with Elisha. Second Samuel. Look at that. Oh, it's lucky. It's Second Kings. It's like Second Kings chapter 4, verse 23. It says, and he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? Right? It is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And she said, it shall be well. So basically, when you read this, it was a man basically talking with Gehazi, right? It was Gehazi talking to a woman that's trying to find Elisha, right? So basically, he said, why are you gonna seek that prophet? Why are you gonna seek the men of God? Right? Because what? It's not a new moon nor a Sabbath. So telling you that what? The prophets, just like how today, right nowadays, the prophets they were out there on the Sabbath. The prophets they were out there in the new moon. Right? So, hey, no new thing on the sun, right? So the prophets, we go out there on the Sabbaths and new moons. All right. So gone. Anything else you think? All right, gone. Let me just read Matthew chapter 12 about, not being over righteous on the Sabbath. Hey, some brothers, on the Sabbath, some brothers, they take it, too seriously. It's the Sabbath, brother. Why you playing music? Right? It's the Sabbath, brother. Why you playing music? Brother, why you eating, brother? No, I'm just kidding. Brother, like, what? It's still a feast day. You can still, be happy, right? I mean, brother, it's not like that serious, right? God. Um, Just in Matthew chapter 12 and verse 1. Right? Brother, why are you taking a nap? Brother, it's the Sabbath. I can take a nap. you know, like what? Come on, man. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 1. At that time, Yahushua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungry and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. Right. So, on the Sabbath, you can cook up what you want to cook up. You can eat like sandwiches, like cold sandwiches. That's what I eat nowadays on the Sabbath, like cold sandwiches. Uh, what else? Like cereal, like the brother said, cereal, salads, right? Those are all good on the Sabbath, right? Lawful. So that's basically what Yahushua did also on the Sabbath, right? He was plucking the ears of corn. Why? Because they've been walking all day. They need to eat something, right? The Sabbath day you can eat, right? But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, the disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was a hungry, and they that were with him, how he entered into the house of the Most High, and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the Pharisees. But only for the priests. So you read about that in damn, where was it? It was First Samuel, right? Yeah, First Samuel. Right, you read about that in First Samuel, right, chapter 20, I believe. It says, Or have ye not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless? But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. But if ye had not had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, ye would have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord even on the Sabbath day. Meaning that what? The Lord, he has power over the Sabbath, right? Not meaning that he can break the law. It's just, what he says goes on the Sabbath, right? And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue, right? But yeah. But let me just get another precept real quick in Numbers 8. It was because it's the Sabbath on a carnal level. It was because the Sabbath where we got our fringes on, right? That's where we get our fringes from, right? From this account. Let me read it real quick. It's Numbers chapter 15 and verse 33. Or no, stop. Let me see. Numbers chapter 15 and verse 32. It says, And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, that they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day, right? This man, he was gathering sticks upon the Sabbath, right? And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation, right? Meaning that what? They brought him to Moses, right, into Aaron, and they put him in ward, meaning they put him in jail, because it was not declared what should be done unto him. So they were probably having an argument. Hey, put that man to death, right? Moses probably like, oh, hold on. Let me just ask the Lord, because, we don't want to do anything that, but, Aaron was probably like, put him to death, man, because Moses, he was meek. Verse 34. And they put him, verse 35. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man that shall be surely put to death, all the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp, right? Meaning that what? The Lord said to Moses to stone that man. So, the Lord doesn't play. We're talking about a God that will stone a man, right? That will kill a man for gathering sticks on the Sabbath, right? And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as the Lord commanded Moses. So the man died, right? Because he was gathering sticks upon the Sabbath. So no gathering sticks upon the Sabbath, right? Should have done that before, right? But this is verse 37. And as the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. So that's why we got, hey, brothers and sisters, we got our fringes. All right, got our fringes right here. All right, so and that's why we have the fringes. Why? Verse 39. And it shall be unto you for a fringe that you may look upon it. Hey, these fringes is not just for show. It's not just for, oh yeah, I got more fringes on, yeah. Not just to play with, right? It's not just to cut off in a day of trouble, right? It's not just to, you know, wipe your wipe your dirty shorts, right? It's not, all right. These fringes, there's a first of all, it's a commandment. Second of all, there's a purpose, right? That you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, and that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go whoring. That's right, right. You had a point or a precept. All right, that you may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. I am Yahawah BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. BAHASHAM Washak Yahushua. Right? So again, to just reiterate it and sum it up, no cooking, no buying, no selling, right? No working, except it be for the Lord. And no bearing the burden on the Sabbath, no doing your own pleasure, right? But you can listen to music, just make it sure it's holy, you know, and no demonic stuff in it, right? Um, what else, brother? Yeah, no gathering sticks on Sabbath, right? Yeah, no cooking if I didn't say that already, and yeah, no buying or selling, right? It's simple, you know, it's simple. So of course, you know, you want to keep the Sabbath with other brethren or other sisters if you can, because it makes it very it makes it very easy when you're doing it with other brothers and sisters, right? So, with that, we'd like to give a hearty shalom, right? Kwam Yasharala, to the brother Yasharala, Khan, shalom.